City News is brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.
Kia ora Rotorua, ahead in tonight's bulletin. District Councillor Meripeka Rokawa-Tate says she's advocating a new approach toward true partnership with iwi. Locals prepare their plans for next week's march against so-called legal highs. And the Rotorua Boys High Under-15 Sevens teams get set to defend their title at tomorrow's National Secondary Schools Tournament. District Councillor Meripeka Rokawa-Tate says her new leadership role in council is challenging and long overdue. Mrs Rokawa-Tate is heading the council's iwi Link strategy aimed at strengthening ties with local hapu and Te Arawa iwi. She says she's advocating a new approach toward true partnership.
Yes, obviously we do know that Te Arawa some of the settlements have been concluded, there are others that are nearing completion, and of course some of our economic development projects in Rotorua will come off the backs of those settlements. So we want to have council is committed to having a far more meaningful relationship with Te Arawa. The good thing is Te Arawa is now going to sit down as an iwi and decide what would that desirable relationship look like. So that's really very positive. In the past it's been more or less, well, what council thinks they'd like to inform Te Arawa about, and sometimes that's been after the event, and what Te Arawa is saying is no, this is a new era, new time, new people obviously, and a new vision, and so that's very inclusive. Rotorua's new vision is very inclusive of Te Arawa, as indeed it should always have been in fact.
Locals will join force to support a nationwide protest against synthetic cannabis set down to take place on Saturday the 5th of April. The Rotorua March is being organised by Te Wairiki Puria Trust Free Parking Youth Project and will coincide with others up and down the country. Organisers say it will be a peaceful protest. However, Rotorua Police Senior Sergeant Brendan Keenan says there will still be a police present at the march.
On that particular day, we'll certainly be involved in providing, I suppose, the safety of the protest as well, and just making sure that people that are wanting to attend a protest are safe in doing so, and that there's no obvious sort of disorder during the day. But yeah, I think really we do need to see an improvement with some sort of policy and procedures, and that's when partnerships with the council as well will be important in stopping this sort of sale of legal highs. It's difficult, and police being like a lot of organisations, we've only got so much resource to go around, and basically when we're putting resource into that area of the city, although it's a demand and a need at a time, it means that we can't be doing other preventable stuff, like that same officer can't be sort of on the highways or maybe needed at a certain domestic or something like that.
A Facebook page was set up on Monday in support of the Rotorua campaign. For more information, search Ban Synthetic Cannabis in Rotorua. A large mural is being painted in the central city as part of the Rotorua's inner city revitalisation program. Artists Jacob Chrysoho and Johnny Forhire are spray painting their aerosol artwork directly onto the walls of a prominent blue two-storey building on the corner of Tutanekai and Pukewatua streets, while passers-by enjoy watching the mural unfold. The finished artwork will depict Rotorua's historic pink and white terraces, often referred to as the eighth wonder of the world, until its dramatic destruction in the 1886 Tarawera eruption. Rotorua District Council Community Arts Officer Mark Spikerbos says the mural will form part of a living sculpture trail. The inner city mural is expected to be completed next week. In sport tonight, Rotorua Boys High School will defend their National Under-15 Rugby Sevens title from tomorrow with the start of the North Island Secondary School's Sevens Rugby Tournament. Last year, Rotorua Boys High beat Hamilton High in the finals. The boys under-15 and the girls under-15 and 19 teams compete over the next 2 days at Blake Park in Mount Maunganui. To your weather now. Tonight, fine with fresh southwesterlies and an overnight low of 5. Tomorrow, Thursday, mainly fine with southerly breezes dying out, a high of 20 and a low of 6. And the outlook for Friday, fine with light winds, a high of 22 and a low of 8. In the marine forecast for Lake Rotorua, becoming southerly 10 knots during the morning and then dying out in the evening with waves below half a metre, and it looks to be fine. Still to come tonight in City News, Kitty Danielle catches up with Wera Hub co-director Israel Hawkins. Tarawera Ultra Marathon Race Director Paul Charteris talks about a massive government investment into the promotion of the race. And we talk with Derek Shaw about the recent walking festival.
Kia ora everybody, well I'm at the Wera Hub, which is on Fenton Street. It is a great big building with the big red letters. You need to come along and see this place and visit them if you have an idea for business. So like I said, you are a very successful businessman yourself and now you're a mentor for other business people. What's your secret?
Two things. One, a very good team behind me. I think in most cases the success of one man is generally because of a multiple number of people. So there's people I'm accountable to and people that work with me. The biggest secret is I think having people understand the bigger picture and buy into that and then have them figure out how they fit. So philosophically they are driven by the values behind why we do what we do. The how is almost mechanical. So most people will understand if they've got a bit of nous how they fit into that. After that, celebrate that. And so allow more opportunities to exercise their passion, their drivers alongside where we're going as an organisation. It'd be hard to say that some of the values we operate here are different to other Māori people get into business because they're the same. So the way we do it is just the mechanism as to how we exercise those values in business by keeping our, if I can use the word Māori-ness, without having to feel like you have to disassociate to do well in business. I think the concepts are both the same.
When did it start? And it's very family orientated, isn't it? We're in his office, and there are pictures of his family everywhere. He is in the same room as his wife, who is his business partner. So it's a very family-driven business, obviously. When did it start for you both as a couple?
We're in our 10th year of business now, so the one thing that me and Teresa knew that we had was some really clear values and beliefs that was really obvious, but also both of us are very stubborn. So in different ways, we exercise that stubbornness by putting it into business and delivering it out to other people that understood that. So it wasn't hard to have people feel comfortable and safe around our quarter around business, because most of those values were similar, albeit the way we deliver it was different. So it wasn't too hard to actually merge our passions. Sometimes the trick is managing those passions so that we don't get too full on or work too long or we may clash on different things. So the learning we had to do was how do you manage that? That's a big part of it.
Well, Māori are very passionate people and we're also ideas people. And one of the things that perhaps some of us, myself included, don't quite have down is the business mechanical side of how to do things. So some of the things that you offer here include that kind of wisdom. So if people have an idea and they come to you, what are you going to be able to provide for them?
A process to see if those ideas will work, but don't want to quash their enthusiasm either. So it's about saying, if this is what I want to do, I said, awesome, how does it fit here in Rotorua? What do you know about Rotorua to see if you do have that idea will work out? And if it doesn't, that doesn't mean don't go for it. It just means how do you want to pursue this if it doesn't fit here? You're right in the sense that we provide processes for people to put through the idea to make sure if it works out. But the most important thing is don't lose that enthusiasm. So in most cases, while it may be a short no, for me it's the next part is a long yes. So maybe not now, but how do we make that work? And in line with what drives you.
Tell me about some of the businesses that you see that are really successful here, and if I can just give you a few suggestions. We've got this fantastic media industry, so we've got many production companies. We've got some pretty good stuff happening in our forestry industry, and also there's some potential with geothermal energy. A lot of tourism is happening here. First of all, Why do you think those are so successful, besides the fact that they are natural resources here? And then second, what areas do you see as potentially undeveloped?
There are two things you mentioned in there that are prevalent here in Rotorua and the Bay of Plenty. One is our natural resource. In my view, it's quite untapped, and so therefore unpackaging that has been quite beneficial, both socially and also economically. I think we're just scratching the surface there, though, because when I do a lot of corporate work with those companies, I'm aware of the amount of money that's been kind of put around in those corporate companies, of which we haven't even touched base on. The question is, how do we get into that? Because while we can commercialise our tikanga and te reo Māori, it has to be aligned to those corporate values as well. Now, I'm a belief that those values aren't different. How we exercise them are. And so in most cases, there's the selling of corporate activities so that it still has a social feel while not losing the bottom line financially. That's the trick, really, in my view. So that's the first thing with the natural resources. I think we're just scratching the surface. But I do need to say we, being Māori business, are scratching the surface, not non-Māori.
Wa ngā mihi nui kia koe hoa mō o whakamārama mai kia mātou I tēnei rā. Thank you very much for sharing a bit of your wisdom with us, and I want to encourage everybody that has some passion, like I said in the beginning, that wants to turn it into profit, come on up to Wera Hub on Fenton Street and come and share your idea with these people, because they may just make it happen. Kia ora.
But Associate Tourism Minister and our local MP Todd McClay has announced that the government is going to make a significant investment into the vibrant Tarawera Ultra Marathon. And with us is Race Director Paul Charteris. Hi Paul, great to have you with us today. Now, what was your reaction when you got the phone call to say, hey, we're going to, or the government's going to say, hey, we're going to fund you to $300,000 for the Tarawera Ultra Marathon?
I was absolutely stoked with that. I took a lot of effort in putting in the funding application, and there was never any guarantee that I'd get the funding, but to have the New Zealand Major Events Investment Fund puts money into this event, it just shows the confidence they have in trail running in New Zealand and in these types of endurance sports events, and just absolutely delighted for it.
Wow, so you must be pretty excited, because that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. It's $300,000 over the course of 3 years, and it is a lot, but all the money will be spent on helping to attract as many overseas runners to come to Rotorua and Kawerau as possible, and also bringing their friends and family. It's also to help attract overseas media to come here and really promote all of our area, promote the race, promote New Zealand, really around to the world, to hard to reach markets. These are the sort of people that might think they might want to come to New Zealand, and now there's a big event on here, so it's that extra incentive for them to come here. And then the money will also be used to help work with local iwi and Rotorua Kawerau businesses, and find ways of getting new business opportunities to leverage off events just like this one.
Is it quite humbling knowing the success that you've got with this funding and how the event started only like 6 years ago, and it was just a local running event?
It's very, very humbling. The event did start 6 years ago. There were 67 runners. Only one runner was from overseas, and mainly they were runners from around the Bay of Plenty and the Waikato. And this year we had 850 runners from 28 countries take part. So it's very, very humbling, and very, very honoured.
Give us an update about what happened this year, because Cyclone Lucy was around that weekend. So did it dampen the spirits of the runners?
It didn't dampen the spirits of the runners, but man, it dampened the spirits of the organiser. I can tell you that. It was hard work. We had to make a very, very tough call late on Friday evening at around about 5 o'clock on Friday. It just looked like the event could not feasibly go ahead for its full 100 kilometres into Kawerau, and we had to shorten the race. The runners turned around at Okataina and ran back to Okaraka. So instead of a 60, 85 or 100k run, it ended up being around about a 63 kilometre or 73 kilometre run. So I personally was devastated. I really wanted the run to go to Kawerau, and I wanted to give the runners that 100 kilometre experience, but with Cyclone Lucy, we just couldn't do it on the day. It was just not a safe event that we could do.
And I guess that's probably the key. The safety has to be number one.
Absolutely. There's paramount. There's no way around it. Everything else comes second. So we made the right decision. In the end, I talked to my mum who lives in Kawerau, and she said around at 9 o'clock at night in Kawerau, it was gale force winds and absolutely bucketing down. So in hindsight, yes, we made the right decision not to go there. It would have been too unsafe.
Yeah. Now, do you get to run out there much yourself, Paul?
Not at this time of year when I'm organising this race. Typically I get to run out there a lot more in the winter time. In the summertime it's just too busy organising the Tarawera Ultra.
Yeah. Now, obviously looking to the future, any changes are you going to make for the future runs?
No changes planned at all. We just want to bring this race to Kawerau next time and let people run from Rotorua to that town and have the run going our proper course, which we know how to manage really well. And it's absolutely stunning going through Tapahoro, the Tarawera outlet, through the Tarawera Falls, and we really want to give the runners that experience. Now,
one of the things that I noticed that you guys did this year is that you had live video and pictures and different things going out on social media. So I'm guessing that would also help with the advertising, but also showing the world what we've got in our backyard.
Yes, we had national and international media here. We've had about 15 media professionals with photography, videography, TV crews, and online media specialists in the running sphere as well. And they were broadcasting content out all day long to the world and just showing the race as it's unfolding. And over the last 2 or 3 days I've been putting photos online. I think right now I'm up to something like 24,000 photos I've already put online from race day. So it's the social media stuff is getting out there a lot. The race has a massive following worldwide.
So do you think in the future you'll probably go more than 800? Because obviously if people are out there and seeing the good work that you guys are doing.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. We're hoping for 1,000 runners next year. Last year we had 430 runners, this year 850. The absolute limit for this race is 1,000 runners, and I think we're going to hit that really pretty quickly.
Well, I tell you this now, Paul, I like doing triathlons and things like that, and if I get the guts to do it, I might do the ultra marathon next year. So
that'll be fantastic.
Look for you in the runners.
Beauty, right. I will do indeed.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Joined now by our Mayor Steve Chadwick. Steve, this is a beautiful event, lovely to showcase Rotorua to the world. Tell me what some of these people have got to look forward to.
Well, they're going to walk around Rotorua for 2 days, and they're going to see the beautiful place that this is, such a unique environment. If they get into the forest tomorrow, they might get tangled up with the ultra marathon, but they're going to be out and about on the streets of Rotorua and supported by Rotorua community, and they're going to see this beautiful place. We just hope the heavens don't burst on them.
And there's 50 countries represented here, and some of them have said Rotorua is their favourite place to come to.
And they come back.
And they
come back. They're very excited. And what it does is get out the local community too. So here's the Dutch club having a big connection with the contingency from Holland. It's exciting.
And it just joins us with the rest of the world, doesn't it? We create those relationships.
And you tell stories while you walk along too, and that's a wonderful side of it. No, it was a lovely event for Rotorua.
And so are you going to be walking with them tonight?
Tonight I'll go down to start the walk, but I've got another event tonight, so we're on our feet too.
Yes, busy lady.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Steve. It's a pleasure.
And thank you for being here.
We enjoy it.
Well done.
Well, I'm joined now by the festival organiser, Derek Shaw. Derek, it's been a long time coming, this festival. How does it feel to be here?
Oh, it's great, Kitty, to be here. This is the 21st Rotorua Walking Festival, and it's really great to see so many people from all around the world here, people from Europe and Asia and the Pacific and Americas, and joining with our local Rotorua walkers and walkers from out of town, and hopefully we have a couple of good days of walks in Rotorua.
Really important too for tourism, because these people all go home, don't they, with wonderful stories.
Yeah.
And obviously they're enjoying some really lovely hospitality tonight. Lots of people have turned out. The Mayor is supporting, Sir Toby Percutis is supporting. Your message out to the public of Rotorua, how can they support this event in the future? I
think that you're right, actually, Kitty. We've had very, very good support from Mayor Steve and the Rotorua District Council, from so many organisations in Rotorua, the Netherlands Society, Lake City Athletic Club, Rotary Club of Rotorua West. Many organisations over many years have made this event what it is. And for our local Rotorua people, we really want them to get out and walk. I mean, one of the reasons the Rotary Club of Rotorua West originally set this up was to get people in the community walking. And walking is one of the things that most people can do. And also by bringing international people in and people from out of Rotorua, from Auckland and other places, has an economic benefit on Rotorua as well. So, but our international walkers come because they also like to meet our Rotorua people. And, we've welcomed them here today with whakatau Pohiri, and it's great. We're welcoming them appropriately into Rotorua, and it's very, very, I guess it's significant we've had such good support from Rotorua people over such a long time.
Oh, we're a nice bunch, us Rotorua lot, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We're friendly, we mix well, and, with people here from, we've got a big group there, as you probably know, from Vladivostok, Russia, many people from Japan and so on, and we mix well with international people because we see them, often every day, and we're just very supportive of them, and we understand how important it is. So Rotorua, I think, as a place, often reaches out and accepts people incredibly well. It's a great place to be part of, a great community.
It is indeed, and that's a good place to end it. Very proud of you, Rotorua. Very proud of the job that you've done here tonight, and also we wish everybody the very best experience out there walking Rotorua.
Thanks,
Kia ora.
Kitty. Kia ora.
That was Kitty Danielle talking with Walking Festival organiser Derek Shaw. And if you have any news that you'd like to share with us, give the station a call on 07 3488 984 or email news@tvrotorua.co.nz. Thanks for joining us tonight. Por Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News was brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.